What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be looking at my premium knives of the year. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, I have quite a few on the table, but I promise you this one's going to be a shorter list of knives that I've really enjoyed in 2024 that are contenders for knife of the year for me. But let's go ahead and kick it off with the Concept Havern. I really like this one a lot. I think it's a very attractive model, nice full-sized EDC with multiple means of deployment. You got a flipper tab. That works very well. This is tuned extremely well. Front flipper as well, which really cleans up the entire line of this one. And I love the milling pattern on the show side here with the raindrop carbon fiber. There are a couple different versions, but this one really spoke to me. Static washed S35EN blade. S35EN is actually going to have better edge retention than Magna Cut. I hear people bashing on S35EN, but these were specially engineered for pocket knives for edge retention and toughness. I like the fact that they did that milling pattern here on the pocket clip and then kept the rest of it clean. I just think it gives it some character. The black standoffs and screw on this to match the raindrop carbon fiber on the show side were an absolute hit. It does have milled pockets for rate relief, and it does have a very generous access for that lock bar to work. And this one here, more of a shaker than a guillotine, but it has remained locked up solid. I will say, a little tight, but I can get all four fingers on there. But again, it's just a tight fit for me. Great cutting geometry, not a huge drop point. I can, in a pinch grip, get it up high enough to, in a pinch, work through any type of detailed work, tabletop cutting or anything like that that I may need to do. And then it chokes up nicely as well to be able to get into packages. It does leave a little bit more of the blade exposed, but it's still really easy to control because it is a thin slicey knife. But that is the Concept Havern is my first honorable mention. Next up is a brand that's new to me, and that is Phah Monster with the Urban Grip. You got M390 with a polished machine satin finish. You got dark matter blue carbon fiber inlays on this particular version. They have other inlays on other versions. Titanium frame lock knife with a pocket clip that is not reversible and very, very smooth action. I think this is a very nice looking knife. I love the full size nature of it. I love how hand filling it is. And even though it does appear as a gents, it would not shy away from any hard use or heavy duty work. The front flipper on this is dialed perfectly. My only wish is I think if they could have thrown some thumb studs in here to give it multiple means of deployment, I probably would have liked it a little bit better. You got a quarter length backspacer on here and just a very attractive design, very clean lines when opened or closed. But the front flipper only is a little bit of a pullback on this one for me. The other thing too is sometimes in and out of the pocket with this style of relief cut, even though it is attractive looking, it does catch sometimes. And I do notice that sometimes with this pocket clip, it doesn't go in and out of the pocket very easily. I forgot to mention though on that Havern, that is probably one of the best, if not the best pocket clip out of this entire bunch that we're about to look at today. All right, next up is going to be the DVO NAS Fireball, designed by my friend Nick over at Stasa23. I really like this one a lot. It has a great utility blade shape, has a nice hollow ground S90V blade. I love the way that he decided to do a clamshell backspacer on top of the fat carbon or the camo carbon scales. The titanium pocket clip on this one is improved over the Tall Boy. It does go in and out of the pocket a little bit better for me, and it is a little bit more small than I would have liked. I would have liked this to be about another ½ inch bigger, but having said that, bug out sized, good medium size EDC is going to work great for you. I love the opening hole design here. It works really well for both the reverse flick and the thumb flick, and it is a DVO, so the tune on this is really nice. I did skiff it up, and it is glassy, silky smooth on here, and just a really attractive design. I love that pivot design on there. It is very unique and unlike anything I've seen on anything else. I did go ahead and get the satin finish hardware to kind of offset the black in the back, and then the satin blade, the belt satin blade. I just thought it complemented it a little bit more, but it was all blacked out when it came from the factory. But performs really well, super slicey, nice lightweight, even though it does have the titanium backspacer on there. And just a really nice knife overall. I like this one, even though it is what I would constitute as more medium EDC. Very much enjoyed it, but nice honorable mention. All right, guys, we're going to get to my top 3, and I'm going to put them out in the order that I'm actually ranking them for my premium knife of 2024. My personal favorites. First is the DVO NAS Tall Boy. I really like this one. You got a hollow ground S90V blade. You got satin hardware on here, polished, satin backspacer, 3/4 length. My one complaint about this is the pocket clip doesn't work great. It catches really hard going in and out of the pocket. So I am asking for the version 2 pocket clip when they release to be sent to me. I would rather have that one so that it goes in and out of the pocket a little bit better. What did help with this was actually loosening it up, trying to bend it back a little bit to the point where it's not a tapper, but it goes in and out of the pocket a little bit better. Right now, I fight with it to go in and out of the pocket sometimes. I really like the way that they did this exposed liner lock, and I love the radial pattern on the camo carbon. I think it's really cool looking and very different, so I appreciate that. I also like the fact that DVO finally made a larger knife. They gave you thumb studs with the opening hole, so very nice to reverse flick and very satisfying to open with that thumb stud. Just a great knife. Plenty of space to choke up. Lots of room here. I have extra left over behind the pinky. I have actual handle here for my palm to rest on. So very comfortable to use. Excellent jimping, especially when you want to choke up and use the tip here. I love this mid-length jimping on the back of the spine of the blade. And then I still have enough room to kind of choke back, hang off a little bit. I like that a lot. What really would have helped this for me is if on the Tall Boy they gave it the same height handle overall, like the same thickness top to bottom like they did on the Fireball. So to me, this is a little bit more hand filling because it comes up further into the palm. This one a little bit more slender, a little bit more gent, so it's a little bit skinnier to grab. So I would have liked to have that thickness carry through a little bit more. Just if they could have just added it just overall, maybe like 1/4 of an inch or a little bit less than that, it would have been a little bit more hand filling to me. That would have really bumped this one up. But it is my favorite DVO design to date. I really like that, and that's saying something because I like a lot of DVOs. Let's get to number 2. All right, number 2 is definitely going to be the Weyen XL. I'm so glad I waited to do this video till the last minute to try to make sure I didn't exclude any 2024 releases. I won't be able to include this in 2025, but it is definitely number 2 for me. I like this a lot, guys. There's a lot of positive here. Great action, very well tuned. Love the blade shape, love the design, love the diamond textured pattern on here, love the milling lines in the lock bar relief cut that really give it some traction to grip onto. It is very well tuned. I did throw some skiffs on here. It has remained locked up solid, but man, it is buttery smooth on the close. The 2-screw construction is super clean and super simple. I love that a lot with this one. You got a nice clean pass through, and you do have a lot of relief cuts inside of the scales here to keep this very lightweight, even though it is larger. One thing that I would have liked for them to do is do larger thumb studs. I think they're a little small for the size of the knife. It looks kind of silly. I'm going to probably swap out 2 tie connectors here and anodize to match. And those larger thumb studs, I think, will really look good on this particular knife for sure. Pocket clip on here works fantastic. I love this high voltage ano. It really plays with the light with it being high voltage, and then when you sweat a little bit, get a little bit of oil on there, it really changes the color and gives it a lot of character, and I like that a lot. Very comfortable to choke up, lots of room between the first and the second knuckle, but I can even go all the way up to the second knuckle, and I'm far enough back on there to be able to control that, which is great for detail cuts. A full 4-finger grip now on the Hyphen XL. That's nice for when you're pushing through materials, like when I demonstrated it in the review video going through the denim. Very nice for that. And then you do have enough belly here where if you move back a little bit on the fingers, you can get a lot of this blade onto the table. So you kind of land right here with the fingers out a little bit, so you have a lot of space here to work with that blade. But the way that it curves up, you can really kind of get through the material that you need to, sawing down and across. So I really just like this one. It's a great design. It's very different for me, what I normally go for in my collection, which you'll see here with my #1 pick for the year. But this is very highly recommendable, and if you have small, medium hands, I would highly recommend the Hyphen. I think the original is a fantastic model, and I'm so glad that they did an XL. This is perfect for me, guys. All right, #1 is going to be the Vero Engineering Nova. I had the belt satin version originally. I did let someone talk me out of it just because I'm so accustomed to moving things along, just because for the channel it doesn't make sense to hold on to everything and tie funds up when I need funds for other things. But I really liked it. I reached out to Vero, and he did say he happened to have a black wash one, so I went ahead and picked that up because I missed the belt satin one so much. But I think ideally the one that I would really like to have is the one with the stone washed blade. I think that one would be my ideal pick. Having said all that, I've really actually enjoyed this one because he did really black it out entirely. The only thing not blacked out is the number of the series that this is in and the Vero badge, but everything else outside of that is totally blacked out. I love the blade shape on this one. I love the opening hole. It is a little thick for that front flipper. You definitely want the mini if you have small or medium hands. You definitely don't want to go for the full size. This is definitely more geared towards larger hands, or if you just like a larger knife. I love Vero's opening pockets. They work really well. Very good detent tune on this one for me personally, on mine. I have no issues with the grip for deployment, and it has a good cutting geometry on it, very slicey for its size. It is a heavier knife, especially with a 3/4 length titanium backspacer, integrated lanyard post back here into that, so it's a very clean design on the show side and on the pocket clip side, and just really well done. I like this one a lot, guys. He did an absolute phenomenal job, but this for me easily my 2024 knife of the year. So I'm going to bring the top 3 out here, ask you guys to let me know what you think of my picks for the 2024 knife of the year. First place being the Vero Engineering Nova. I love that one. Second place for me being the Weyen XL, and then in third place for me, and then boy, we got some contrast here, don't we? The DVO Knives Designed Tall Boy. Definitely my top 3, guys, easily. And I would even go further than that and to say, you know, total, even if it isn't premium, just knife, period. Like, these are my tops for sure. Curious to see what you think. Curious to see what your pick was for knife of the year, even if you own it or don't own it. I'd love to hear it down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, definitely hit the like button. It does help the channel. The comments and interacting are appreciated as well. And if you're to be doing any shopping, the affiliate links down in the description below do help the channel, but that's up to you. If you want to use them, it helps. If not, totally understand. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members. I'm out of here, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll catch you next time. Peace.